Welcome. This is Judy Julin, and today, in our continuing discussion about frequency-based education, what's next, what's new, and why now, I'm honored and pleased to have with us today Yendre Shen from Canada. Hi, Yendre, and how are you today?
Hi, Judy. Thank you for inviting me to have this conversation. I love the work you're doing.
Yendre, tell us a little bit about yourself and really what's your message to parents?
Oh, wow. There's a lot to say. I guess just to introduce myself, I was a former naturopath for 20 years. I gave up my practice last year due to COVID because I didn't want to be part of the deception and coercion of lying to the public. So truth is very important to me. And I, want my life to represent standing for that. I am a parent myself. I'm a single mom with two school-age kids. I'm an empath and an intuitive energy reader, which I love your topic about speaking of frequency, because really the essence is in the vibration of frequency. So I love that you focus on that. I can help people decipher their emotions. And I guess who I am underneath it all is a spirit looking for home, trying to figure everything by following the path that resonates with me and that's truthful to me. My message for us is really, keep your children close, keep your bond and connection with them close and let your heart guide you. I have a group called Intuitive Parenting. It's about how to raise intuitive children. And it really is trusting that the manual in how to raise your child came with your child. Your child is that manual. And if you love them and really listen, they reveal to you how to raise them.
So beautiful. And my other colleague, Dr. Leon Campbell Jr. from Agape International, he talks about the root of education, which is edu, which is to draw forth that which is already in the child. And I love that that's what you stand for. I love that you stand for truth. Since I've met you, that's who you've been. I'm honored to have you speak on behalf of the new educational models. And your message for parents, if you could extend that a little bit and maybe give us some practical applications in their busy lives.
Well, truth is very uncomfortable. I really feel for parents. I understand their work isn't easy. There's a lot of sacrifice. They're performing such an important task of nurturing the seeds of the future. And it's challenging to hold sometimes very full, confronting emotions that we have to endure to help ourselves grow with our children. And I guess, I understand what they're going through, and I want to help them to know that they're not alone and that this pain surrounds us not knowing that we are indoctrinating ourselves into a system that kind of strip us of our soulful self, so we don't understand there's this sort of pattern of trauma that we are participating in. And my work is to be courageous to look at that and not continue the harm, and see what beings we nurture into adults can create. The work I do is really being courageous to sit with difficult emotions and not be perfect, meaning life is messy, embrace it instead of being upset, not looking perfect, and feel that comfort instead of feeling so much effort in trying to put ourselves together, because that is part of the confine, right? I'm trying to awaken to parents to understand that we are the descendants of, through time, all the wars and battles that have been won and lost. We are the captured and conquered people, and we don't know we have this pain that we're carrying intergenerationally. And to be able to look at that, because we feel it very viscerally how we can stop ourselves, um, that we can't stop ourselves in hurting the people we love the most. You know, it's a very painful thing, and not to know, why am I doing it? How can I not stop myself? Right? Like you know it's wrong, you know, and we don't want to, because we recognize that we've been hurt. We don't want to continue to hurt our children. So it's having a space to look at that and do the work. And it's not comfortable, the things we discover, but we know from love, the healing give us a beautiful, like, beauty comes off of that growth. So there's lots, but it's challenging because our world isn't always supportive. You know, the child, when they're very little, needs so much of our time and attention, and we're so unaware to be so generous with our um, giving of that, that we have reactions. We have reactions of frustration and limitation, and we might take it out of the child, but then realize the child is innocent. You know, so it's a process that we are learning and growing together. We're gifted by the spiritual relationship we get by having a child. So we get to learn and grow if we allow it.
When you think about frequency-based education, you are speaking about, Yendre, the best education for your child and our children, and that is being the very best parent that you can be, doing the hard work, being courageous, making mistakes, understand it's messy. So to me, education leaves the four walls of the school or the learning institution and becomes our entire world. So thank you for shining a light on frequency-based education, which is energy and our feelings.
Yes, absolutely. I feel that people have underestimated the profound knowing and insight and knowledge that comes through you, not just from being told. You know, I think we have to break this attitude to where answers come from outside and we must be told the answer. We do it so much we don't even know it. We're telling them what to do all the time, right? We're telling them what to do. And then we always react to that, right? There's a natural kind of resistance. So we create this kind of conflict in our relationship that we have to find a way how to soften and be more partnership. So yeah, you're exactly right. It's not a building, you know, learning is not a building. It's like part of life. Is we have to shift a lot of our paradigms and ideas. You know, that's so important to shift that. So the child begins to believe this as concrete fact when it's not. It's just construct that we created and copied and continue on. So it's lovely the work you're doing, because we do need to break free from all these ideas that are made physical. So we need to create something different. Yeah.
So beautiful. And I'm in awe every time I speak with you. It resonates so much with me. And if we we ourselves have been indoctrinated since birth and through generations. Right. So that's right. That's our best work to do as parents, as adults, as professionals, to be that courageous self that you speak of. And again, that's the best schooling a child can have, is to witness their parent and the adults in their midst make mistakes, be courageous. And thank you for that.
So if we let the child be themselves, they will naturally channel what drives them, what they want to develop, and like distill from the ethers, like, you know, Nicholas Tesla, that just have the information be channeled and have the opportunity to devote their life to nurturing it. We are so quick on convenience and instant gratification, and we don't even have skills to hold space to develop something beyond like 5 minutes or even like half a minute, you know, sometimes. So these are much more valuable skills, right? To enrich the spirit to its full creation and potential than to have all the right answers. Now, some things do need foundation, like, you know, chemistry or physics. And, you know, I think they're invaluable things. And some things do require memorization, but you want to go beyond just to know the numbers, but understand how come, how come this particular element is this way, understand the more subtleties, because then you actually hold more information when you learn things that way than to memorize them.
Absolutely. And I love your concept.
Yeah.
This is kind of a hybrid learning model. So it's critical thinking infused with wonder and innocence. I've been a follower of your Telegram channel, Intuitive Parenting Group, for some time now. I love that you bring out things that are sometimes uncomfortable. And it's important for people to dwell in that uncomfortableness, ask more questions, and be our very best selves so that we can model that to our children. Yendre, I thank you so much for being with us today. You've got lots more to share, and we'll be certainly having you back again. People can be in touch with you through your Telegram channel, Intuitive Parenting Group, and ndshen@yahoo.ca is your email address. Thank you, Yendre. Any last minute thoughts for those parents and people out there wanting to be their best selves for our youth?
I guess one thing I'll leave that might be uncomfortable. I heard this quote and I really love it, that human potential is at its highest when we're free. And I think many of I would say that we're actually not free, and that's why we want to break this indoctrination. And we only think we're free because we're told we're free. So if you really want to tap into frequency and energy, feel it out, because the energy tells you the truth, because it doesn't lie. It's in its purest form, right?